This illustration deals with separation from lighting conductors. NEC 800.53 and informational notes 1 and 2. The purpose of the change was to accept a new exception, and the new exception has been added to clarify that the new section combines common requirements currently found in Articles 800, 820, 830, 840 into a new general article that applies to all these articles involved. Now, the note kind of explains this a little further in detail. So let's review that note that's right next to the panel enclosure there. And notice the note states section 800.53, along with informational notes 1 and 2, pertain to communications, wires and cables, cable TV, type coaxial cables on buildings that have to comply with 800.33 informational notes 1 and 2, and also to understand what's taking place here a little bit more in detail, see 250.94. Now, the first call out that I would like to review with you is the air terminal that you see on the roof area at the top. And notice NFPA 780 deals with installing these, separating them, the distance they have to be separated, how you would time in from one point to another point. Now, the NEC basically says in 250.106 and 250.60 that the NEC will not have anything to do with designing your air terminals and your down conductors. It refers you to NFPA 780, which deals with requirements on how to size conductors and air terminals and things that pertain to lightning protection systems. And then, of course, we would want to secondly, look at those down conductors. It says lightning down conductors, and notice it's NFPA 780. There's not any NEC rules mentioned there. You have to go to NFPA 780 and also UL 96A as an apple. Now, what they're saying with this new rule, you need a separation here of not less than 6 feet. Or they must be bonded together, as you see in the call out, less than 6 feet. Systems must be bonded together as required in 800.53. And of course, to the right of the illustration, down toward the lower level of that roof, then notice incoming communication, cable and so forth, outlined in Article 800, and then where it enters into the building, you'd have to go to Article 805, where you'd set that protector and so forth. Now, we notice the rods that are driven below the illustration. It talks about lighting and service rods in 250.52A5 addresses driven rods. 250.53 classifies them and basically says in A2 through 4, 8 feet of those rods have to be in the earth or put in a protective type location where you have maybe a 10-foot rod with 8 foot in the earth. And notice 250.53A2 through A4, the electrician uses those sections to install a driven rod. And then in 250.50 through 3B, it kind of tells you what can be used and what cannot be used as a driven rod, if my memory serves me correctly. And then if you want more information on air terminal strike rods and down conductors, the routing of them and so forth, then we tell you in the call out right in the middle, so to speak, of the facility, that for more information for overhead conductors, see National Electrical Safety Code Part 2. And that would give you a lot of information about overhead conductors. But if you're wanting to actually review the location and the installation of the strike air terminals, then you would need to see 7-8 in for those down conductors. And then notice everything is bonded together to create a grounding electrode system and an equal potential type plane. Now, the new section, what this is all about is to make sure you don't get these down lightning strike conductors, which sometimes can have thousands and thousands of amps on it. We don't want that energy to cross over into wiring methods, other piping systems that could be very dangerous to the user of this facility, where it's a dwelling unit, commercial, industrial, what type of facility occupancy do we have here? So this new section would address those problems.